Stay tuned to see how I made my first fermented hot sauce, and make sure you stay around for the taste test. Okay, today we're going to be doing something I've been wanting to do for a little while, is make my own hot sauce. So what I have here is some habaneros, about 3/4 of a pound, some green onions, a carrot, orange, onion, a couple things of garlic, and some pre-peeled ginger that I peeled off camera, not to bore you guys. And also, because we're working with hot peppers, you're going to want to use some gloves. And then I have a jar and all my utensils in boiling water already, and then gloves to work with that. I've already measured the weight of my jar in grams, and that came out to 425 grams. So make sure you have a scale that's able to read in grams, and you're able to tear that off every time. So I'm going to go ahead and get the jar out of the hot water, and we'll get this put together. Okay, the first thing I'm going to put in is the orange, so the sugars that come out of it will try to stay at the bottom and not rise to the top and cause bacterial issues. So go ahead and get this peeled. And when splitting this apart, I am going to try to get as many seeds out as possible. It's not imperative to get every last one of them out, but the more we get out, the better. You can always just get them out after the fermentation. Okay, now that the orange is in there, that's about all I'm going to put in. Get our scale back up. Okay, now we're at 550 grams, so that's 125 grams of orange. Next we're going to do the habaneros. Okay, you want to just pick the stems off. Okay, the habanero open and check inside. Make sure that the seed pod is white, not black. If the seeds are black, just peel them out. But if you see any white fuzzy stuff, definitely don't want that. Scoop the seeds out if you want to, but I do not, so just throw them in there. If you have anything on the outside that does not look good, just cut that off fully. And then again, cut it in half. Okay, when you think your jar's getting full, just go ahead and push everything down as much as you can. And just keep going. All right, now with the habaneros in there, we have 835 grams. So habaneros, we have 285. Next is the ginger. Like I said, I've already pre-peeled this off camera. Just cut this up into small slices. We have 15 grams. $30 grams of garlic. And on the onion, what I'm going to do is leave a small ring of it uncut. I'll show you why here in just a minute. Set that off to the side. And just give these two a relatively rough chop. Onion, that's 125 grams. Carrot is 91 grams. Okay, and my secret weapon for getting all that down in there will be the muddler that I've had in the hot water. Take maybe three green onions. Cut off the roots. Let's give these a rough chop. Take our scale, tear it back out. And we're just going to add some filtered water to the jar until it reaches almost the very top. It might take a while for all the bubbles to get out, so just take your time. Okay, well now that we have as much water that will fit in there as possible, go ahead and turn our scale back on, zero it out, get a total weight. This is basically 1,300 grams total. We're going to take the 425 away. So that gives us 875. We take that 875 grams of everything that beside the jar, and we will multiply that times 0.025 for 2.5% of the weight. That gives us 21.75 grams of sea salt. I'm going to go slightly over. We're just going to do 22 grams of salt, but we need to get the water that we have in there out. So to do that, just take a container and let this drain. Might take a few minutes again to get all the water out. It's almost all out. Close enough. Add this container. Tear that out. And I'm using sea salt. It just dissolves into room temperature water easier than kosher salt. You do not want to use iodized salt or any salt that has chemicals in it. So now we're just going to dump in here until we have 22-ish grams. Okay, 22 grams on that. If I can not burn myself, give this a quick stir, and whenever this is all dissolved in and it's gone back clear, we'll dump it back. We'll dump the brine back in the jar. Okay, we'll let that set for a few minutes to clear up, and once it's clear, we'll put it back in the jar. Okay, let's go ahead and carefully dump this back in. A little hot, but now I'm not worried about leaving any headroom on here because I have fermentation lid on this jar that if anything needs to come out, there's a little flap right here that'll let the gases come out and the jar won't explode. If you're using a normal lid, what you want to do is once a day, maybe twice a day to start with, come here, twist this off, it'll pop, burp, and then you just seal it back down so no gas can get in, but it will, whenever you burp it, it'll let the gas out. So I'm going to let this sit at in room temperature, around 70 degrees, out of direct sunlight for about a month. I'm going to put a batch number on this jar so I know which one it is, and then put this in my computer so I can keep track of what was in there. And after the month has gone by, I'll bring you back and show you how to turn this into hot sauce. So after just 2 days, our jar went from completely full to about 65 to 70% full, just from that spring pressing down on it. That's just the fermentation. And whenever I shake this jar a little bit, you see all the fermentation bubbles coming up. That's the off-gassing of the bacteria doing its job. I just wanted to give you an update after a few days, see what it's looking like. So batch one's been going for about a month. Time to go ahead and get it strained out. There is nothing growing on top, no mold, no yeast. That smells so fantastic. This is going to be really good. Let's give this a second for all the brine to drain off. Don't need it all to drain off because we're going to put some back in anyway. So I just have my Nutri Ninja container for this. Since it's such a small batch, there's no need to use a giant blender for it. Just put all this in there. This has been sanitized already. I'm going to go ahead and take a bit of this brine, dump it back in. And I have 250 milliliter of white vinegar. Just going to dump a little bit in, not much. We can adjust later. Put our lid on. Get this snapped in. And we're going to use the extract feature. Okay, one got me a spoon so I can taste this to see what adjustments we need to make. Oh, it's spicy. Let me check the pH. I'm going to check the brine first. That is 3.6. And now the sauce itself. 3.4. So I think we're already at the salt level I want. So I'm just going to do another 100 ml of this white vinegar. And we'll blend this again. Still a bit on the thick side, so I'm going to add the last 50 ml. So that's a total of 250 milliliters of vinegar. And let's give this a quick, slow blend just to get the vinegar incorporated. Okay, let's take a look at it now. Yeah, that's about what I was looking for right there. Okay, and then just make sure it doesn't separate in the future while it's being stored. I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum. And give this another low blend for about 30 seconds to get that incorporated. Give a quick shot of Star San. And also hit the bottom side of the lid. Dump out the excess. This is food safe non-rinse, but no use having a bunch of extra. Have my little funnel here. Start sanding that. And go ahead and get this dumped in. Went a little heavy-handed on that. Okay, after a little bit of balancing the bottles out, they're all pretty close to even. Go ahead and get these sealed up. And I forgot to wipe down top of this jar. There you have it. That is going to be some good stuff. Give this a taste test. Just get from what's left in here. Healthy spoonful there. Oh, it's going to be hot. Wow, that is spicy. The orange really comes through a lot. The ginger in here stands out way more than I thought it would. The carrots just added some texture. The spice, it stays with you. Right, it's hot. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the process of making my first fermented hot sauce. You can see I have another giant batch back here with some pineapple instead of orange. Basically the same recipe, just much more of it. So that'll be coming out in the future. Make sure you turn on the notification bell so you don't miss that video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, go ahead and I would appreciate it if you subscribe. Thanks for watching.